Start streaming. Minimize. Minimize. Excellent connection. Excellent connection. I think it's good. Hello, hello, hello. All right, fuck it. So, I want to go over this trade real quick. Because they said that going over your trades will do something for you that nothing else can. TLRY. I traded TLRY. Yes, I did. So, I woke up. This is exactly how the morning went. I woke up at 9:30, late, right? I'll be honest. I haven't been waking up as early as I should. I'm lazy in the morning. I have to fix that. I woke up at 9:30, an hour after the market opened. I start looking through charts and I see this, right? Which is basically my setup. Huge volume on a pretty inarguably bullish candle. Some would call it a hammer. Some would call it a bottoming tail. I don't care. All I see is a lot of buying closing at the top. I actually didn't realize, I just kind of bought right away. So it was over here once I got to it. But I had seen that this happened. It's like, okay, a lot of buying, a lot of volume, bullish candle. I bought because, well, there's not much else to think about. And from what I know right now, and then I thought, let me look and see if it happened to bounce here before, if it's at a support. And I scrolled to the left. And yesterday it did the same thing around the same area, right? So this is 1197 and it bounced here. Same thing, and it pushed up, had a nice bounce. It's a nice play right there. From $11 to $12.40, give me that money. So I'm expecting the same thing to happen today. And we got a small bounce, right? I was in at 1202, so around here. No, here. And I hold through all of this. I'm never really down, right? The lowest I came was 11.99, so 4 cents per share. And boom, I'm holding here. I'm holding here. Maybe I could have sold right there. 12.12, but I didn't. Originally, when I was holding through here, when I bought in, I thought, okay, I will hold until VWAP. I will put my stop at sell VWAP. Because there's been two problems I've been coming across right now in my trading journey. It's been that I sell too late on losing positions and I close my winners out too early, right? I will start scaling out too early. And I'm thinking, Well, if I'm letting my losers close out too late and I'm scaling out too early on my winners, fuck it, I'm just gonna try and sell all at one, right? VWAP. All of these plays seem to touch VWAP, VWAP, VWAP. It's a good one to aim for. The problem with that is when you're calculating your risk to reward, let's say I buy here at 1202 and I say, okay, I'm willing to risk 1197. Well, really, you're risking more because that's like a perfect execution would be 1197, but when things crash like it did here, it broke, and so I'm having to sell like at 1195. Where's it going with that? I'm not sure where I was going with that. Oh, so I know my risk is more than 5 cents. Yeah, 1202 to 1197. I know it's more than 5 cents. Realistically, like 7, 8. So if I want to keep at least a 2-to-1 risk to reward, I have to sell, closer to 12, 14. Yeah, pretty much. And originally that would have worked out, right? Because when I bought in, VWAP is around 12, 13, 12, 14. But what I didn't realize up until today was that VWAP is going to be decreasing on moves like this, right? So when I'm holding through here, I'm thinking VWAP is only 12.12 now. What if it doesn't go past VWAP? I'm not going to give my good risk to reward ratio anymore, right? And so as I'm seeing this and I'm seeing this, I'm here and I'm thinking, okay, I could sell here in case it doesn't go any further, but I'm not getting my risk to reward. And so I think, okay, I'll hold it longer. And it didn't work out today. It crashed and it burned. And then I saw this, right? A big red candle. And the way the chart is scaled, it looked a little smaller, but this is this candle that I bought in, right? They're pretty much the same size and on the same volume. Point is, it's big volume. And so to me, it canceled it out and it broke my support. And so I ended up selling at 11.95. It's frustrating because it's a setup that I've seen over and over. It did what it was supposed to do, and I aimed for VWAP. I just didn't end up selling because of that problem with the risk to reward. If I could go back, would I have sold? Obviously, maybe I should just aim for VWAP. The thing is that doesn't solve the risk to reward. Well, essentially, the risk to reward changes as it goes on, right? Because now your resistance that you're trying to sell at, it's a moving resistance. It's not like one that just stays there. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Just keep learning, keep reading. I got the right read. I expected more and I didn't get it, and it ended up turning into a loser for me. Right now, what I'm trying to do is I started off with $1,000 in this account, and this was like back in March. It broke down. I'm sorry. I lost money on all the way down to like, I was taking baby trades, right? I lost money all the way down to like 950. And so I'm thinking, okay, if I can grow this account back to $1,050, baby trades again, that to me is proving that I'm consistent, and then I can, start taking on trades, not baby trades. And so I got it all the way back to 997, and me being impatient, I took a big trade on a subpar setup. I don't remember what it was, and I lost big. I lost like $20, which at the time of the taking baby trades, that was like 3 or 4 of them, right? So in one trade, I was back down to like 970, and today I come in thinking, okay, I'm going to look for this setup because I know that this setup works most of the time, and I'm going to put all of my account into it. and it went, right? But I turned into a loser. The other thing that I didn't like about this was that it was super, super thin, right? It didn't have a lot of volume throughout the day. Look at these. These are 1 minute candles. For example, at the lowest, it's putting in 4,500 shares. That's somebody's position, and so what I'm getting away with it now, right? Because for example, today it was a 78 share position, but once I took C, I lost $6. Once I bought in at 12.0199, 12.02, and I sold at 11.94. Once I start to take bigger positions, I will get there. Once I start to take bigger positions, I can't trade names like that. Oh well, I guess I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. The other position, the other one that I wish I would have seen earlier was CEI. I thought CEI offered a pretty good setup. I understood it the entire way, right? So you have this resistance. Let's open up the 5 minute. You have this resistance from the previous day, right? Maybe a little higher. Whatever. Point is that that's around the place that you really want to see it. Like if it breaks this resistance, it's a pretty good sign. And so I'm watching it, right? Let's open up at the same time. All right, cool. So we'll leave this open on the 5 minute so we can look at it. So you see, I was actually watching the 1 minute, and you see this awesome volume come in to bust through that resistance, and that's exactly, where is it at? To basically try and break that resistance, and that's exactly what you want to see. So where's that resistance actually at? Yeah, I guess it's right there. So you see this volume come in on the 1 minute, and I'm starting to pay attention to big volumes that come in on the 1 minute, because you can't get any more accurate information than that. It's the 1 minute chart, unless you go seconds. So you see boom, 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 and it tries to break and it fails. But that's awesome, right? That's awesome that you see this volume coming in, because whenever, from what I've read, whenever you're looking to trade a breakout, you want that resistance to be broken as if somebody is kicking down a door with a lot of force. And you want to think of the volume as force, right? And so if it's coming in and trying to break that resistance on that amount of force / volume, that's good. But it failed, right? I had seen this candle though, and that's a bullish candle. There's buying right here on this wick, and it broke down, but then again, more volume comes in, right? Buying off of something like VWAP that a lot of people watch, and I'm already in TLRY, right? And I put my whole account in it, so I can't buy anything else. But I'm watching and I'm thinking, wow, this is a pretty good setup. It could at least test high of day again, which is 11.59, right up here. And so again, I'm trying to think of myself like, okay, what would I be thinking if I'm holding? And I'm seeing this, and it's like, okay, now I'm kind of scared once it comes back down here. Assuming I buy in on this candle and on this candle, I'm kind of scared right here, right? But then you get this candle on volumes coming back in, that provides some confidence. And then it's like, okay, it's not able to break again. Oh shit, I'm shitting breaks again, right? And then you see it, oh my god, it's gonna go, and it kind of fails again. But you keep seeing buying come back in on these candles. And so when you're considering all of this, the fact that it bounced out VWAP, the fact that volume came back in on these specific candles, it's a pretty good sign. And you ended up getting a pretty good move from, if you're buying in right here, let's say let's say I had put my whole account into this one. I had 970 divided by 1, let's say 147. Let's say 150. That was my average. It's 600 shares, 646. And let's say I sell at high of day, which is 160. $970 divided by 150, you get 646 shares, and you made about 10 cents per share. 60 bucks, not bad for a $970 account, you know. And if you're watching and you're reading and you're like, oh shit, it's flagging again, you know, let's say you sold half, you know, I missed out on a really good move. That was exactly what you wanted to see. And I can't remember the stock, but man, it's just frustrating, right? I'm thinking of throwing another $1,000 into this account so I can take 2 trades. But I don't know. Anyways, those are my trades for today. I'm uploading these to YouTube so I can come back and watch and think about my thought process, right, and see where my mistakes were. But yeah, that's kind of the setups I'm looking for now. Breakthrough resistance and consolidation. I understood this one the whole way through, so I'm definitely going to be looking for that again. But that's what I'm looking for. I feel like I have learned how to trade, and it's just a matter of executing. All right. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to go now. Peace, peace. Close out. Stop live stream.